Lauren, I want to ask you right now, just to kind of shift gears a moment.
Yep.
As a proud member of the LGBTQ community, how would you say the environment for other LGBTQ individuals in journalism stacks up? And in particular, do you have any advice for Gen Z LGBTQ aspiring journalists who are worried about potential barriers that they may face or have to overcome in this profession?
Mm-hmm. So I can only speak from my own experience in the newsrooms that I have worked in, because as you travel across the US, the environments in newsrooms in other places that are perhaps not as welcoming as the coastal places that I have lived, it might be different. So from, my experience, I've always been out in all of my jobs. Everybody has known that I'm gay, and I've been a member of the National Lesbian and Gay Journalists Association, which really provided a great support network of incredible journalists around the country who were part of the LGBTQ community. And I learned a lot from them, just sort of how to comport yourself as a queer person in a professional environment. And I think that other sort of marginalized people get this, where you have to be the person who answers all the questions about that particular topic, or, the default is straight, white, male, able. And frankly, I think that probably young LGBTQ people today probably do a much better job, because they're in an environment where they're sort of differently vocal than perhaps previous generations. I mean, we're also living in a sort of post-gay marriage world, and there's been much progress in terms of rights. And so I think that people in the queer community now are just in a little bit of a different position. I think that it's important to be out in any workplace as long as it's safe. I've never had any problems. I've had stupid comments. People said dumb things because they were ignorant, and sometimes you can use it as a teachable moment, and other times you just slough it off and I don't need to be fussing with you right now. The one thing where it does come into play in journalism that is challenging, and I think again, people of color, women, people with disabilities, where it can become challenging is when you are reporting on things that impact your community and you have to be objective. And how do you maintain that objectivity? I mean, we think of the particular administration now, and all the different groups that I mentioned have been targeted. And so if you are a Latinx person who is also interested in immigration, how do you cover the community that you're a part of, but also do it in a way that's fair? And there's been a lot of conversation within different groups about how you do that. And should you even be, hyper objective? And can you inject some of your own experience into things? It's an interesting time to be in journalism and also be able to be part of a group that is also in the news.